LEA, this is Gail Niparts. I served as your president from 2005 to 2011. That was a 6-year term that I served. But I didn't just walk into the presidency. It took a while for me to kind of get ingrained into the union and work my way up through the ranks. So in about the early 1980s, I started as a building rep, and I served as a building rep for quite a number of years. I also served as a newsletter editor, and I was the vote co-chairman. Then, in 1990, I made a run for NYSET representative, or delegate, and I won that. So that encouraged me, in 2 years after that, to go for AFT delegate, and I also won that election. Then, a few years after that, and we're still kind of in the late 1980s now, I was elected first vice president. Then what followed after that was executive vice president. And then finally in 2005, I think everyone thought I was pretty ready to assume the presidency. And I was able to do that when Ida Kwati, my predecessor, retired with 1 year left on her term. So I kind of walked into the presidency. Now I was very honored to be president of the LEA. At that point we had about 535 members. There were a lot of successes, but there were also some troubles at times. The successes or accomplishments that I feel most proud of, I was involved in 3 contracts being settled, one of which was an extension, but I thought they were very fair agreements, and I think they were well received. I also, I became president, as I said, in 2005. That was right at the beginning of the race to the top with the money grab for the paltry $1 million or so that we were able to secure for Lockport. But what I felt was very successful was my approach with the two superintendents with whom or under whom I served, and that would have been Bruce Frazier and Terry Carbone. I kind of adopted a collaborative, kind of a moderate view with them, hoping that we could work together since the success of the district and of teachers and of students was on the line, and if we were all kind of aligned with each other in the same direction, I felt that was what would work best, and I think that was very successful. I was also very, very proud of the number of my former students, including you, Danny, who decided to become a teacher. And I like to think that I might have had just a little bit to do with that decision along the way. So that makes me very, very happy. As far as struggles, toward the latter, I would say years, it began in year 4 of my term, continued in year 5 and 6. We had to become involved in closing 3 elementary schools, which meant that we had to reassign and rearrange all kinds, reconfigure, not just current buildings or the buildings that were left over, but also we had to create a recall list. That's the callback list that a person can be put onto for 7 years, and it made me very, very sad that, of course, it was the younger teachers who had to go onto that list. Now, David Lowery, your current president, tells me that most of them have already been called back and are working in the district, or if they weren't satisfied with being on the list, they went elsewhere and didn't get jobs. So that makes me happier. But that was very, very troubling. And it was a lot of work and a lot of meetings to make sure that we were following contract language precisely, and we had to get Lou Del Porto involved, and we had to have all kinds of meetings with, okay, here are the resources that are available in the community for you if you're going to be losing your job. And it was just very, very troublesome and very hard. It also pained me when teachers would get themselves in trouble, and trouble that meant that they were maybe going to be going on a leave without pay, or even if it were an administrative leave, but they were in trouble. And I would have to sit in on those meetings, and a few of them didn't work out so well. And that was very sad for me as well. As far as advice goes, or a message to anyone still in the profession, because as you know, I retired in 2011, and it was, so it's been 5.5 years now. But anyway, I just think that the teaching profession is so important because of the incredible influence that teachers wield within their classroom, with their students, in the community. It's like teaching is a calling, and there are so many roles that you fill. I mean, you could be the mom figure or the dad, you could be the counselor, you could be the tutor, you could be the caregiver, you could be, I mean, let's face it, you're the one that a lot of students are with for the most hours of the day. And that could be like 6.5 to 7.5 every single day. So you become a real constant in the lives. And I just really strongly believe that teachers make such an incredible difference in lives of kids. So, I mean, and remember now, or maybe you're not remembering, but I retired after having taught 37 years. Now I have to say, there were a lot of ups and downs, and you know that too. From day to day, sometimes year to year. It kind of depends on who's in your class and how it's going. But I'll tell you what, overall, even though I did have some bad times, overall it was just so empowering and so much fun for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed my career in teaching. So what I would say is, hang in there. This too shall pass. You're going to get some great kids, and remember, you will continue to make a difference in their lives just by being there and being compassionate and listening to them and trying to understand what makes them tick and what their backgrounds are, respectively. So, and I'd also urge you, don't wait too long to get involved in your union. Teaching, there is a business side to it, and that's the union side. The benefits that you have in your contract were won by many predecessors even ahead of me. So, don't take those things for granted. Be familiar with what's in your contract, and don't wait too long to get involved in your union. And by the way, I didn't wait too long to get involved with the Retiree Council, which exists in Western New York. As a matter of fact, we're here at the RA, and I retired as of July 1st it was 2011. By July 10th, I was already attending my first Retiree Council meeting for, it's ED3. And 1 year later, I was elected president. So I'm very proud of that because I serve as Retiree Council number 3 president. And we just won this award today. This is the inaugural Social Justice Award. And so it was a big to-do, and had her picture taken, and I'm just so proud of the work that we retirees do. So it's not just that we are the daytime army, as we're called, and we man those phone banks while you guys are still teaching. It's just that we are very politically involved, and I still continue on the NYSA Political Action Committee, and I'm having a ball in retirement, I must say. But just hang in there, and you guys are going to love retirement when you get there. And remember, in 37 years here, you'll get there, I promise. Love ya!